Growth begins when we decide that staying the same is no longer an option, right? And you made that decision. I could feel it. We made that decision. We're like, no more cycles, breaking patterns, right? The hardest chains to break are the ones we don't see. So awareness is key to freedom. So the fact that you realize, oh, there's a pattern, there's a habit there that I want to change. Oh, you've already done the hardest part. You have the awareness. Now, let's make the change. You understand? It's just understanding why. Sometimes just the way we've wired our mind is the very thing that's holding us back. We have these limiting beliefs. Oh my God, the limiting beliefs, sometimes they get annoying, don't they? When your mind gets a little bit too loud and starts telling you you can't do it, but you could do it in your spirit, in your heart. You even have evidence in the past that you can do it. But the mind has a grasp on you, you understand? If you have a religious framework, maybe the enemy has his hands on you, but we could relieve that. And then, we fear change and the unknown. We're staying the same, but again, growth happens when we realize that staying the same is no longer an option. I remember a time in my life where I would say it was like my first big pivotal change. And I wasn't really happy with who I was at that moment because I knew I was out of alignment, out of character. Sometimes you just kind of lose yourself a little bit and you're in a cycle and you don't realize, oh my God, you form some habits and some environments and some ways of being. And you're like, oh, what happened? It's almost like you're in a trance. I remember I was walking up this hill and I was listening to this song. I've told this story many times, but I think you may be new here. Shout out to the new people. And I'm walking up the hill and this song by Bob Marley, my mentor in spirit comes on and the song says, Rasta man, live up, never give up. And I was going through a hard time at that point in life. And this is before I had my locks. And he said, Rasta man. And when he said that, I was like, I'm growing my locks. I felt like it was a call to my spirit. You understand? And in that moment, I realized, no, I want to change. Staying the same is no longer an option. And it's like that intention spark change. It's like a ripple effect. Transformation started to happen. Like I was making better decisions, and the things that once tickled my flesh didn't tickle it no longer. Instead, I was interested in things that nourished my spirit. And then I realized I deserve better and I can change this. Say that with me. I deserve better and I can change this. No habit, no mistake that you have made can truly hold you down forever. That's just the trick of the mind, right? Trying to convince you you can't do it. We're going to see the obstacle as a beautiful lesson, not a limitation. And even if you feel there are limitations right now, know that they are there to guide you and mold you, or even challenge you to muster up the courage to just hop right over that limitation. And then you realize, oh, that's all that was? Oh, I forgot how high I could jump. You understand? But we're breaking patterns, right? We're not repeating the same cycles with ourselves. Maybe habits, maybe procrastination. You may have been in a season of procrastination. You set goals and you procrastinated them and became a habit, and then you lost trust with yourself in completing those goals. Don't worry. You've identified it. You have the awareness. And like you just said, I deserve better. I can change this. But you're going to have to set clear boundaries with yourself and with others. If you developed habits with other people or been in environments that aren't for you, you're going to have to put those boundaries in. I remember when I quit drinking and smoking, I had to put boundaries with my friends. Like, hey, don't invite me out to these things. If this is the things you're doing, no judgments. That's just not what I want to engage in this season in my life. And they try to bug you and shame you, but you have to put clear boundaries and say, hey, this, you almost have to make laws for yourself and say, this is the person I am becoming. This is who I am. And to become that person, this is a non-negotiable, right? I told myself, I don't want to smoke anymore. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm like, I don't want to eat bad foods. I want to do things that nourish me, that strengthen my mind, that bring back my creativity. So you put those boundaries up. Ones with yourself, with the negative habits, boundaries with the negative parts of your mind. No. Y'all been reigning a little bit too much. Just tell the negative thoughts, listen, I gave you your time. I gave you your space. And you know what? You're done now. You're done. We're coming back in. You understand? We're leading with love, because when we lead with love, what happens? We lead with love, and we're going to disrupt our routine. So the way you've been living, if you don't like that, disrupt it. New morning routine, new way of thinking. You understand? You wake up, negative thoughts come in. No, you get in the mirror. You're reaffirming to yourself who you are, that you're strong, you're courageous. Give yourself a high five. Tell yourself you love yourself. You're beautiful. You got to speak to yourself like that. You love it when other people speak to you like that. So harness that with yourself first. Disrupt your routine. Make bold new habits. I remember when I disrupted my routine for the first time, I went from eating like a whatever diet, because I have a fast metabolism and I can eat whatever and see no physical effect of it, just genetics. I went from a whatever diet to a raw food diet, like extreme. I disrupted my routine, my eating habits. And I went on this journey, you understand? Then I also changed the music I listened to. Started growing my hair. I just disrupted everything I knew about myself. And I was like, I'm just going to become a new being. You got to have fun with it. Disrupt your routine, disrupt your life in a positive way, right? You disrupted it once before with the wrong habits, with the negative habits, with the wrong people. You allowed the wrong people into your life, and it's okay. Forgive yourself for that. It happens. We all get there. We thought, unfortunately, it wasn't the right thing. Now it's time to come back and love on yourself again. Strengthen that spiritual umbrella, your religious umbrella, if you have one again. Become intimate in that relationship. And then grow through action, you understand? Action is a form of art, you understand? Art as action. Act. Why? Because action creates transformation. Growth begins the moment you decide staying the same is no longer an option. In that very moment. If you just make that commitment with yourself right now, it has begun. You have disrupted the negative path you were on. You have disrupted your life completely, and you're going in another direction. That intention, I'm telling you, is so strong in the spirit. When I made that intention, I was like, I just want to change. And that Bob Marley song was coming on. And it's like, Rastaman, live up. He said it with his chest, live up. Don't give up. I made that intention in my heart, a straight channel to God. Like, I want to change. And it happened. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I made that intention first. So start asking some questions, because you just made that intention. What is one step I can take today to disrupt things, to change whatever pattern, right? When I quit smoking, what was one pattern for me to quit smoking? I'm going to stop hanging out with my friends when they're smoking. And I'm just going to stop buying it altogether. That one step. And when I have a craving to, I'm going to swap it for something else. That's where my love for tea came. I swapped the herb for a different herb, or tea, loose leaf tea, and I fell in love with the world of tea. And then guess what? My friends would come over and they would put the weed aside. They would sit down and receive a cup of tea from me. I disrupted the pattern. And then ask yourself, how does staying here where I am right now serve me? And what would happen if I let it go? Think about something that you feel like is just holding you down. It could be a toxic job that you're in. Maybe it's your home. You're in a toxic household. Unfortunately, I understand. Don't worry, you could get out of that. I've been in a situation before like that too. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's been laziness. Whatever it is, imagine what would it be like to be free of this, and just picture that individual clearly, like that individual is glowing, they're free, they're strong, they're courageous. And I want you to hold that individual and realize that person every morning. You go into meditation and prayer and you just picture that individual and you feel what that individual is like, and know, I am becoming it. And anytime you are struggling, you say, what would happen if I can just continue along this new path? You're going to grow. And even when it gets uncomfortable, you're going to embrace the uncomfort, because growth happens outside of our comfort zone as well. Growth also can happen in the comfort zone in some seasons, you understand? But that's after we've climbed that mountain, we got to the top, and now we're enjoying the view. Because it's not always about the climb. Sometimes you climb, you get to the top of the mountain, and some people are like, okay, next mountain. And they forget to enjoy the view. So no, we ain't those type of individuals. We know how to relax, enjoy the view after we climbed. But for us that are wanting to break patterns and disrupt life into a new positive direction or a better direction, more that's aligned with us, realizing our full self, we're going to step into the uncomfort and know that growth is happening. We're going to act. Action creates things. Action creates transformation. You understand? More questions you can ask yourself. What cycles am I ready to break? Write it down. What cycles am I ready to break? I'm ready to break the negative cycle in my mind that's been telling me you can't do it or you are not enough. I'm ready to break that. And what's the first step I can take? I can take action and show myself and build that trust, build the evidence so I have the confidence. And anytime that negative thought comes in, we reaffirm to ourselves, no, I know who I am. Another daily practice, a little affirmation. I am ready to release what no longer serves me. It cannot hold me down. You understand? Find ways to reflect and reset so you don't fall back into any negative patterns. Because we're not doing that. We growing. You just said it, right? You growing. And as we go, celebrate yourself. Celebrate the small wins to build momentum. Celebrate it. Oh my God, you may feel like you have a long way to go. That's okay. As long as you're going, you're on the path. I always say the destination is in every step. Embrace it. The biggest commitment you can make is a commitment to this moment. You don't have to repeat the same story. Growth is a choice, and growth is always available if we make space for it. And today, you get to choose differently, whatever that may be. I'm sure every single one of us, there's something that we'd like to grow and change, something we would like to release that's been holding us back. And we can do so. And this is the #1 chill spot on the internet. And we do a lot of live streams, so hit that notification bell so you can hop on the live stream. And we work through these things together. We play music, sometimes we study and we work together. But we build, we're in this together, you understand? Human beings blessed with a body to make change, to experience ourselves, to realize our gifts and the soft spot in our heart, to be in service to the world, to laugh, to cry, to have joy, to experience sadness at all, the full spectrum of the human experience. It's beautiful. And you know what is beautiful? The fact that you just changed today. You just made room for growth. I'm going to see you at the top of the mountain so we can enjoy the views together.